Hey everybody, welcome to the PC Perspective Podcast. This is our 309th episode. It's July 16th. We are at Quakecon 2014. If you're watching this on the video version, it should look a little different. We're in a different spot. We're all sitting here. We've got Josh, Alan, and Maury. Introduce yourselves.
What?
In the correct order that you would normally introduce yourselves. Yourselves.
I'm Josh Walrath.
I'm Alan Malventano.
And I'm Maury Titleman.
Maury, you're probably going to have... You're going to have to hold that microphone closer.
I'm Maury
speaks.
Titleman.
Swallow the mic.
We do have an audience with us today. Thank you very much for joining us again on short notice. Look, everybody. Now you're on TV. Your mom watches the show? That's pretty nice. That's
We're not that popular.
more than my mom does. So we have a couple of things we're going to run through, and then we're going to get into like Q&A. We'll talk about what we're doing. Obviously, you guys, I see some workshop T-shirts. I see some PC Per Live T-shirts out there. That is awesome. All the stuff behind us is going to be given away on Saturday, not tomorrow, as I said earlier. Bunch of stuff, and actually we have probably 5 or 6 companies whose stuff is going to be here tomorrow. So the loot grab should be pretty good. We have NVIDIA stuff in here, not in here yet, rather. And I think we got Corsair stuff still coming in, Inwin stuff coming in, MSI. We got a lot of the gear that we're going to pass out. So let's just jump into it here. We're going to see if this actually still works, Ken.
Why wouldn't it?
Well, because of us.
Do you doubt me?
A little.
I heard Josh doubts you.
All right. So if you are new to the show, either here or on the stream, we do this every Wednesday at this time, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. wherever we're at now. Texas, thank you. That's Central Time.
Central.
Yep.
Central Time.
No, Texas has its own time.
Texas is definitely, it thinks it's its own time.
Texas time.
PCPer.com/live is where we do that. If you want us... It obviously didn't help. So we're here for the PC Perspective Hardware Workshop. That is on Saturday at noon. Hopefully, I'm sure all you guys will make time to be there. We'll probably have 1,800 to 2,000 people in the main stage. We're going to give away, I think, our total... This time we got smarter and we printed it on the form that you get. So each of these has a unique number. Anybody that shows up here today will get a couple of extra of those. Increase your chances on Saturday. So that's a plus.
And if you win anything, you got to then fill out the back of the form, give it to immigration, and
Yes.
then we're going to tariff.
Yeah. Are they still going to be really strict with you guys on what hardware you bring in and out? That's always an issue when we give away stuff as well. And we do have a build contest. What's that?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay,
You can only bring in...
Well, at least 2 people will walk away with full working systems. Like we're doing a system build contest we did a couple years ago.
Unless they really screw up.
If they really screwed up and they don't finish it in the 2-hour block, then I take it all back.
Or if they don't.
Yeah.
Make them do it blindfold like you did?
That took. How long did that take? It took a while.
Hours.
Quite a lot.
It took longer than I would expect anybody to do that here. But we'll do the same thing last year. If person finishes it first and boots into Windows gets to keep the system, second person gets it taken from their hands, and then we raffle it off to the audience. So don't be the slow one. Is how that goes. But that's exciting. So if you're in the Dallas area and you're not here yet, you can come in on Saturday and join us for that. Let's talk about some stuff. I guess there are some hardware things to talk about this week. It was a slow week, which is fine. We've got a lot of other stuff going on. Lee posted a review of a Corsair Graphite 760T case. Do you guys remember this from CES? Do you remember seeing this? This is the one where the side panel is almost completely window.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we were all kind of impressed with...
There's a clean look.
Yeah, the structural integrity of it is what impressed me the most because it's all acrylic.
Yep.
But yet the door didn't feel like it was going to crack or fall off or anything like that.
Yep. It was thick.
Yeah, and I think they did a really good job in terms of aesthetics, right? They've got a black version, a white version. Sorry we don't have any visuals for you guys to see what we're talking about here. But it's actually a really, really nice case, and it has a lot of room for water cooling stuff. Maybe not enough room for what Maury wants to do, but it's got a
So
lot of
should I
space.
pantomime for our audience here what it looks like?
Yeah, if
I'll
you
have swinging.
Yeah, that would work. We could do that.
Josh, no swinging.
No swinging.
Like I said again,
There are
check out
ladies
that review.
present.
Lee posted that up just a couple of days ago, I guess. And I don't know, it got an editor's choice, so that must mean it's pretty impressive. And what was the price on it? $179. Do you guys think cases are getting too expensive, or do you think that's
That's
in
a really
line
nice
with
case, though.
expectations?
That's a nice case.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you really have most cases fall around the $100 to $130 point. So I mean, 179 for high-end case isn't unheard of.
Yeah. Last week we talked about an open air acrylic case that was $170, so I guess that kind of puts things
True.
in perspective as well. So that review went up. We also, Maury did a review of the ASUS Z97 WS board. Are you tired of Z97 yet?
I am
How
tired
many
of
motherboards have you reviewed on Z97 since that launch?
probably about 10 maybe.
That's
Yeah, I think because there was we had about 4 manufacturers and average 3 boards from each maybe.
everybody wants their share. So
Everybody
what's
wants their
unique about the WS board, right? So I'd assume not a whole lot of people are actually going to build like workstations out of it, but it has at least one unique feature in the group
Yeah,
that I think is important for us.
The WS board right now, and this is asterisk right now, is the only board from ASUS that has the only Z97 board from ASUS that has a PLX chip on it. So it's the only board that you can actually run 3 or 4 by SLI or Crossfire on and actually get more than 4x PCI bandwidth on. The unique feature with WS is they increased quality of caps this year. The caps are 12K caps. That is the only board in the ASUS line that has 12K caps on it. It's a nice board.
Is that 1,200 hours?
12K.
12,000 hours, rather?
12,000
Yeah.
operational hours. Yes, it's.
I know,
I mean,
I figured it out.
those are basically industrial mil spec caps. Those are really nice. It's got the enhanced VRMs like a lot of the other boards in the ASUS line.
It doesn't have. It lacks some of the visual pizzazz of their other boards.
Yeah. The visual pizzazz of that board is more in line with the channel boards, where it's got I believe it's gold and black. But their market for the workstation line is for graphics professionals and high-end designers. I mean, that's what they're marketing that board for. But if you want something with a PLX chip because you're running 3 or 4 video cards in SLI or Crossfire, that's the board you want to get right now. The guys from ASUS have told us that there will be a Republic of Gamers version that is just not out yet. It will probably be the Maximus 7 Extreme, or I think they're up to 7 now in that line. But those are forthcoming. Those soon. But we haven't seen them and we don't have release dates on those.
How much does this board cost?
That board, I believe.
I can look.
Yeah, I think,
It's not a quiz, I guess. 286. How's that?
yeah, that sounds.
Yeah. No, it's what you wrote, so I hope it's right.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, you're paying when you're buying that board. That is a higher end board. It's not a flagship board. The flagship board is going to be $400 or so. But you're paying for the PLX chip. You're paying for the caps. You're paying for the quality of that board. And by no means is that a high price for that board. I mean, you're getting your value out of that. You get the ASUS, the ASUS warranty. You get the PLX. You get the enhanced caps. Also, with the workstation line, they quality test against, I think it's 1,000 peripherals, something like that. They do some amazing, quality testing with those boards to make sure they're compatible with pretty much peripherals across the board because they will be used in a corporate environment.
Does it have a discharge button?
No discharge button. Sorry,
That's
Josh.
too bad. I like discharge.
So I'm curious, like $286 for this board. The way we work with products is not that doesn't seem outlandish. When you guys, obviously, I'm assuming you guys all build systems. You build your own systems. $286 too much for a motherboard these days? Okay, I don't see any out and out no's. So that's do you think that's above average for what people are paying for boards? Yeah. Because when I see prices of motherboards that are $400 and $429, those are the top end flagship products, right? But you can open it. It's fine. Go ahead. We'll wait. There we go. Now, you feel better? You feel better?
Yeah.
Good. Go ahead, Maury.
The thing is, you got to remember is with the imminent release of the X99, and this is purely my guessing, September, October timeframe is what we're looking at. Those boards minimum are going to be probably between $200 and $300. So figure this WS board is kind of a stepping stone in between, quality wise and feature wise is in between a Z97 and an X99 board. I mean that's where the price tag comes in, because you have the PLX chip, because you have the enhanced caps, because you have the other features on it. That's what you're paying for. I mean, PLX, when they put a PLX chip on it, they have to do quality testing with both NVIDIA and AMD to get the SLI and Crossfire X logos. Because if they put that on a board that has a PLX chip, it means that you can use up to quad SLI or quad Crossfire. If they have a PLX chip and it's not certified, they cannot legally put those the logos on the board.
Anybody in this room have 4 GPUs in their system? I didn't think so. Anybody on this side of the table have 4 GPUs in their system?
I have 3.
Okay, that's pretty close. Do you have 2?
No.
Do you have 2?
One.
I don't have 2. It's kind of weird, isn't it?
You have a laptop GPU, let's be honest.
Well, yeah, that's true. So another review that came out this week was actually the Corsair Flash Voyager GTX. This is
Where is it? Where is
it's a
it?
flash. I
Well,
don't
we
know.
forgot the most
I
important
either
part.
lost it already.
We
What's that?
forgot the most important part
Of what?
of the motherboard review.
Where is the CMOS battery?
Where is the CMOS battery?
You have to look on there.
Is it up?
What?
I don't remember. As we've said,
How
I've
much have
looked
you
at
had to
10
drink tonight?
I've looked at 10. I've looked at 10 Z97 boards since the end.
Let me see.
Of
Let me see
May.
where it falls.
Look in the
strengths
pros. Look
or
in the pros and
weaknesses.
cons. It's either going to be a pro
Yes.
or a con.
Was this review helpful? Yes.
It is not listed in strengths or weaknesses, so it must not have one.
That's it.
It clearly does not.
That's
have
it,
one.
Well,
Maury.
usually in front of my computer, I can look at the actual
That's all right.
pictures.
It's
No
okay.
CMOS battery.
Crap.
I know.
So the Corsair Flash Voyager GTX, it's a USB flash drive. Doesn't sound very exciting. We all have lots of those. I don't know where it is, Alan. Either
already
I put it in
lost
my
it.
bag and lost it, or it's sitting at the office still. It is a 128 gig or 256 gig USB drive that has an SSD controller in it.
Yep. Phison.
Phison 3109.
It's a
or
4-channel
something
SATA
like that.
SSD controller with a bridge chip to go
So
to
what's
USB 3.
what's the difference in having an SSD controller in a flash drive versus, I don't know, not?
Speed?
That's it.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, we were able to get, if I scroll down my
a
wonderful
typical
page here,
USB
benchmarks.
drive has like one channel to the flash.
Okay.
Usually, there's just like one flash.
And this
chip in
has
there.
how
This
many?
is 4 channels.
4 channel.
Yeah.
We were able to see read speeds of 462 megabytes per second and write speeds of 371 megabytes per second.
And this is a
on a
little,
tiny USB flash drive.
relatively small USB flash
Right.
drive.
What was that old one? One of the first USB 3.0s. It was like the ISO or the Enzo.
I think it was a Super Talent. Was it the big silver one?
Yeah, and the
Yeah,
thing would
it's-
snap off.
No, that was
and it
OCZ, where you snapped off the port.
Yeah,
That's not
OCZ.
US Oh, you're talking about okay, so it wasn't actually a thumb drive.
And that was basically a drive with a cable and like everything else. This is just the thumb drive. You pull
Yeah.
the cap off. Plug it
Yeah.
in. Like,
So what do you do with all that speed, right? So you can see benefits of having a 256 gig thumb drive. You
so
just put
here's
everything on there.
here's what's funny that occurred to me. That's like
Hang on.
what? Oh, you got to open that. All right.
Go ahead now.
So whenever we're talking about write speeds to like your internal mobile SSD,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I always say like, where are you gonna get stuff that fast?
There's a place where you get stuff that
You
fast.
could actually get, so if you have stuff on this drive and you want to transfer it to your laptop, this is where your write speed actually
Yeah.
comes into play on your laptop, because that thing is going almost as fast as SATA 6 gigabit, right?
Yeah, and the pricing on it is not. I mean, it's expensive because of its capacity, but it's not ridiculous. You're looking at
Yeah.
119 for the 128 gig and 199 for the 256 gig.
And your USB controller has to support.
UASP.
Yep. Which
It
is
doesn't have
basically-
to. If you don't have UASP, we were able to get
It's still decent.
389 by 205.
Yeah.
389 read, 205 write.
But if you want the full,
if you want full speed UASP,
which is basically SCSI over USB.
does Intel's controller support UASP now?
I don't know of a driver to do
That
it.
UASP is an interesting thing because it's manufacturer dependent.
Yeah.
The native Intel controller will only support it if the manufacturer has built the drivers into the motherboard. Right now, the only off the top of my head, the only manufacturer that actually builds and publicizes about UASP is ASUS.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, because we tested on a Z97 Deluxe board from them.
What is it? The AS Media.
Yeah,
It's their AS Media
Yeah.
controller
Yeah.
that,
AS Media,
they've
yep.
done it through.
But
But you
I
go
think-
into their tool and enable UASP mode, and it effectively, I guess, Alan is adding command queuing to USB.
Yeah, it's
it doesn't have
basically-
it normally in bot mode, where it's just sequential.
It basically
requests.
accesses it as if it was a SCSI device, so it's able to use commands that are like a different command set, right? Where USB command set is just like one command at a time for, file transfer, that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. Whereas this is more like SATA, kind of.
It's an interesting device. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people out there really believe that there's a use for a 256 gig thumb drive that can go in your pocket that can read at 460 megabytes
Well,
per second.
I think what's more
but-
significant on that drive is because it's a 4-channel controller and it's more like an SSD. Most thumb drives just fall flat if you try to write a bunch of small files to them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like they literally crawl. Like it's like one file per second, even like
Yep.
in some cases, just really slow. This thing will be more like you're writing it straight to an SSD. It'll just rip right through them. So
But what if you're
for
a-
like if you're copying a Titanfall to an SSD to move to another system, or to a
Yeah.
thumb drive rather to another system, right?
Yep.
That's a 50 gig, lots of files,
lots
tens
of
of
small
thousands of files.
Yeah, that would go pretty quick.
Installation. Okay.
If you're a hacker uploading your virus,
Oh, clearly.
you gotta have speed.
Yeah, like that moment in the movie where the little progress bar takes
Yeah.
like forever, and the woman gets mugged or whatever because she couldn't get
Always at the
out of
last second.
Yeah,
Always
that's
at the
not gonna be a
last-
problem.
yeah.
So with one of these, like it just boot, ding, and she'd be gone, and like 10 minutes later, the guy would break through the door.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that should
you're
be.
right. That should.
Yeah.
No, nobody take that. I'm gonna pitch that to them and
Okay.
sell to them. What do you think? 150K? Is that right?
Something
Is that
like
the production cost, Ken?
I want
Yeah.
50%.
All right. Yeah.
Will we
It's
get a
discount.
resource center from them for that money
of
as
course,
well?
absolutely.
Sweet.
So, I don't think this is news to any of us doing what we do. You guys are obviously here at Quakecon, which is a giant collection of people who enjoy PC gaming. But it appears that the PC industry is not dead.
There's a pile of stuff behind me that backs that up.
As it turns out, people still buy computers. People still build computers.
Because this is the post PC.
This is the post PC era. None of you brought PCs to QuickCon. You all brought tablets and Bluetooth
there's-
controllers.
There's not
right?
a line. There's not a line full of people with PC parts.
They brought NVIDIA shields.
Yep.
You all have your shields.
Yeah, they're
to
all in
stream
shields.
from your
Stream
house.
gaming,
But you didn't
yes.
bring your PC here. You left that PC at home. Stream it. It's good connection here at least, right? So you've
That's
got that
where all
going
the
for you.
shields went. We've been
Enough for
wondering.
streaming.
We'll have some shields to give away tomorrow, so you can test that. Theory.
Not tomorrow.
I'm sorry, Saturday. I don't
Thank
know
you.
why. I'm
Saturday.
jumping ahead 2 days. I'm glad it's not
You're
tomorrow.
wishing life away again.
Maybe I'll just wander around the BYOC tomorrow and give out shields. Maybe that's what I'm doing. Maybe
Well,
you don't know.
I thought NVIDIA was doing that tomorrow.
Maybe I'll do
anyway,
that.
so.
You gotta get Tom some more beers, and then say, Tom, come on, we're gonna go to the BYOC, and then he just hands stuff out.
I was
Yeah.
I was reading something about that that I think some of the assumption about the whole post PC era was that there was an assumption on the part of industry and all that corporations were going to move to smaller form factors, tablets, cell phones,
right.
ultrabooks, whatever. That hasn't happened. Actually, most corporations are in their recycling cycle. That's a bad word, but
It is. Yeah, go ahead.
but yeah, they're basically redoing their desktops because they're all old.
Their upgrade cycle.
Yeah, exactly. They're because I mean most of their upgrades, most of their PCs are on WinXP. They're having to upgrade to either Windows 7, Windows 8. So using it as an excuse to upgrade their infrastructure as well. And that's I was reading somewhere. I don't remember the article I saw that in, but that's a lot of where the driving factor of this uptick in the PC market is coming because of the corporate market buying. But also a lot of the gamers and stuff are seeing that the Xbox and the PS4.
PS4.
Yeah. I'm not a console guy, so
Clearly.
sorry. But yeah, the Xbox and the PS4 are just not all that they were
So
promised marketing-wise.
maybe some people were waiting to see what those machines were going to be like, determine that wasn't enough. I mean, have you guys in the audience seen your upgrade cycles get longer or shorter over the last 5 to 10 years? You think it's gotten shorter? Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair that I'd say in general most people think it's longer because you see screen resolutions cap. We talk about all the time about how much graphics performance you can get out of a $150 or $200 graphics card
Yep.
on a 1080p monitor.
And when's the last really big jump of processor technology that we've seen? Is probably what
See,
the
you mean-
original i7.
Yeah, like Sandy
Core
Bridge.
2.
Which I still
Sandy
have
Bridge.
in my system,
Yeah.
i7 920.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
it's
breathes
time to move
fire,
on from
but
that, Alan.
it still works.
Well, I think it's kind of interesting in that we've seen a lot of pushing for, hey, we're going to have all these managed blade servers, and everybody's going to essentially just going to have
Virtualized.
Yeah, be either virtualized or just have a small basic console on their desk.
Like a
and
Shield.
Yeah, but the price for that is so much more expensive than just getting a $500 Dell that the average person is just going to use in an office environment. Or if you have like a CAD user and you don't need a super duper card, I mean, an $800 basic system with a quad core or an i7 processor, you can get from Dell for just cheap. And I mean, why license and build up all this next generation infrastructure that will virtualize everything and put it all into a server room when
Cloud,
it's
man.
3/4 of the price, half the price if you just do it in the traditional
Not
way.
only did they all bring tablets and shields, they're all just streaming off of grid.
Yeah.
Right? Like, latency is gone, right? They figured that problem out on
a myth.
networking. Yeah,
just
it's
solved,
not even
yeah.
really a thing.
Well, that's the biggest barrier. You hit the biggest barrier to corporate America virtualizing, going to the cloud, is latency.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a globalized workforce, and this is at my work. We face this problem all the time. You have a workforce in India, a workforce in the U.S. You run the service from the U.S. The guys in India are going to have major lag and latency. You run your service from India, you have major lag and latency in the U.S. And there's no good solution because the second, third world countries, India's kind
Magic?
of, they're
That's the answer.
just.
Magic is the answer.
Yeah, magic, pixie dust. IBM owns it, but yeah, it's just you can't guarantee infrastructure in second and third world and emerging first world countries because they're emerging. The capital isn't there. They're not spending on the infrastructure, whatever. Even our infrastructure in the U.S. isn't great. I mean, it's better than a lot of places, but I
still
think,
don't have gigabit fiber to my
Yeah,
house.
no kidding.
What the crap?
Well, I think I've heard that South Korea actually has one of the best infrastructures in the world.
Alan, is that true?
Amazingly enough, but.
When hundreds of people are in one conference room of a hotel all jammed in there at the same time and everybody can run speed test and get 50 megabit down. Yeah.
Okay.
That
Yeah, but you
happened
know what?
2 weeks ago.
Comcast,
there. I was one of
Comcast
the
has
people running it.
excellent service.
Yeah.
I mean, and they have
Why would you
such,
want to leave? They're
They
number one
have
service provider.
such
They are the
good
best
service.
in the
There's
country.
There's no reason you are going to leave.
Time Warner.
best.
Time Warner is the best.
They all
guys
suck.
listen to
Let's
that?
just agree to that.
You guys hear that?
the whole
Warner is the
Comcast
best.
customer support.
So
Guy tried to
the
leave
PC
Comcast.
being not dead still, this was a report apparently from Gartner that says they expect to see slow but consistent PC growth, which kind of leads us into the next story about how much money Intel made.
Intel never makes money.
How much money did Intel
Never.
make?
They're
They
bankrupt.
apparently they sold $8.7 billion in PC hardware,
Plus $300.
of which of that 8.7, 3.7 billion is profit.
That's some nice margins. You know what's
yeah.
really interesting about this? So it's 13.8 billion total.
By the way, their mobile division lost 1.1 billion.
Yeah, that was.
And
that was
still,
gonna
they
be,
made 3.7 billion overall.
It's must.
That is not a small number.
How do you sit in like an AMD conference room after that quarterly report come out and go, oh,
God, they lost 1.1 billion in one of their divisions.
yeah.
How much did we make last year? Quarter. 1.2 billion. Yeah.
So what Intel pissed away?
Well, it's all the mobile stuff because I mean
Yeah.
they
They're still trying to fight in that market.
yeah I mean they
No, it's true.
They gave up the boat when Apple approached them initially to make the original iPhone processor, and Intel said, you know what, we can't meet.
There could be Intel CPU in this thing right here. There could be.
There could have been, and
no.
they gave them the choice, but Intel said, you know what, we can't make something for these margins in the amount that you're going to sell, and Apple ended up selling 100 times more than Intel initially figured, and they've been kicking themselves.
And then
Hey,
some
wait.
guy was fired.
Yeah,
Some-
and who made those processors, Josh? Samsung.
well, they fabbed them.
Yeah, they fabbed them. Yeah,
yeah.
they made them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Now,
first
well, they
one,
don't make the current ones because Apple kind of got
Apple designs all their own stuff
all
now.
the suing and stuff between them and Samsung. They kind of stopped letting Samsung make them. Right.
Well,
The
that's
current
simplifying.
generation,
No,
They're still
I mean,
manufacturing
no, I mean, Samsung's such a huge company. Their phone division has very, very little to do with the fabrication guys.
I'm fans of their
Fabrication-
refrigerator division. It works
Exactly,
fine.
yeah.
Samsung is completely divided. Most Samsung like Ultrabooks don't come with Samsung SSDs in them.
Which is
It's
nuts.
crazy.
Yeah.
But that's just what they do. They
I kind
go
of
for,
like having that separation, right? You can have more trust on that Samsung
Yeah.
notebook that they're going to pick the right part as opposed to just picking the Samsung
But no,
part.
they pick like crappy SSDs.
Well, in theory, you should
Margins.
have more confidence in them, right? So Intel made a lot of money. Did you get any of that? Did you get your check?
No.
I didn't.
Must have got lost in that Florence
Yeah,
post office.
Post
again.
office
I
black
got
hole.
So Club 3D launches world's first USB 3.0 to 4K graphics adapter. Anybody want one of these? It is a USB 3 device
Because I've got so
that
many
has a
4K
DisplayPort
TVs,
connection
right? Yeah.
that will do 4K. And I don't know if it says, did we decide if it will do 60 hertz, or are we just guessing at this point?
I'm guessing.
The math works out. USB 3 can do, well, as we saw with the Corsair drive, 460 megabytes per second.
Is it just raw going over that, or I mean, like
Well, I'm sure
No, they
there's
use some lube.
there's a.
Yeah.
they're gonna need to?
I knew it was coming. There's a display controller on there.
Did,
Right.
On,
did they
like,
test it
hardware
at
display controller on the chip, or is it using the CPU on the host system?
No,
to do
no,
all
no.
that?
There's got to be a controller. on
Did they test it at 3D or just this was just at 2D?
No,
Wasn't
this
it?
was just an announcement. I don't.
Those don't do 3D. They just like
You know, the use case for this is somebody that has a
Well, I could.
laptop or
One-
has
one
a
FPS.
an all-in-one or like something like that wants to support a 4K display that
You
doesn't have
watch.
DisplayPort output.
you watch the lines draw.
You can do that. I'm not sure it's really useful. I mean, nothing.
Think you
3840 by 2160 out of
I
a
mean,
USB
that's for
drive.
someone that wants to run a PowerPoint on a 4K panel. Is basically what that's for.
Or a browser.
Or maybe a
Something-
movie.
Dude, my
don't
mom
think
doesn't
it
want a
would be
4K monitor, dude. That's too big. She's old. No, she's old. She can't. No. She's old. She can't see that well. You know.
Actually, it does say 3840 with 2160 at 30 hertz. Hey, Siri wants to talk to you, Ken. Check on that for us.
What the heck was that?
I
It
don't
does only
know.
do 30 hertz. It does only do 30 hertz. So that changes it some. All right, so now this is only good for, in my opinion, a TV as opposed to a display.
Yeah.
Right? All right, well, screw that. Next product. That's all that's on our list.
What time is it?
God, that's early.
Peanut butter jelly time?
All right, well, that was it, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. No, I'm just kidding, of course. So, I guess if you guys have questions or want to insult Josh or somebody, something like that, like we're free to do that. Does anybody have anything they want to ask or have us discuss? Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I have an i7 930,
Okay,
and
I will repeat
I
it.
was wondering if it's worth upgrading to, or is it worth like waiting until DDR4 comes out?
i7 930. Is it worth upgrading now or waiting for DDR4?
DDR4? That's going to be a while.
Yeah. Wait. You want to wait at least till the X99 comes out. That's going to be the equivalent, or not the equivalent. That's going to be the upgrade to that. If you go Z97, it's a side grade at best. Even an X79 is a
A
side grade.
930 is a quad core, correct?
I mean,
It's a quad core.
right,
Yeah.
but
Is it
but
overclocked?
It's not the cores. It's the
Overclocked.
What are you overclocking it to?
It's not that. I mean,
Oh.
Okay.
the issue is X99 will bring DDR4, but as we have seen with every generational change in memory, the first generation of DDR4 is not going to be faster than DDR3.
No.
If it is, I'll be incredibly surprised because it didn't happen from SD-RAM to DDR. It didn't happen from DDR to 2 and 2 to 3. Right? You always have this kind of ramp-up period where they're more worried about stability. They're more worried about making sure the controllers and the motherboards work.
If there was one positive about DDR4, it's going to be probably more for the mobile market because it's going
Low
to pull
power.
less power.
Yeah,
Not-
but I mean,
well,
we're
not
talking
only-
about replacing a 930. That's
Yeah.
not really.
Not only
not
that,
a
but hold
big
on.
deal.
A 930 is an Halo, which is triple channel,
it's an X58 probably.
right? So if you're worried about memory bandwidth, you might actually be getting better bandwidth.
with X99 will be quad.
Oh, it's going to actually be quad?
Yeah, the X99
Okay.
is a direct replacement. The X58.
I mean, the X99 is going to be a killer platform, right? Like, I don't have a part or anything yet, but based on all the specs that
Yeah.
Intel has even publicly announced, right, about what Haswell E will be.
So how far away is that?
we
September,
don't really know,
October.
but it's going to
Yeah.
be this year. It'll be before the end of the year.
Okay.
Maybe we'll finally get Alan to move off his computer
That's
built
what
2006.
I was just thinking. I'll be
whenever it
upgrading
was.
too. My 920 will go away.
But I mean, it's also going to be expensive, right? You'll be able to get a Haswell system today for relatively inexpensive, right? You can get a motherboard. You don't have to spend $200. You can get a $150
Haswell's cheap.
motherboard.
Yeah, when the top CPU is
Well,
$339.
maybe. I don't know if the X99s are going to be. If
No, I'm
you're gonna
talking about
s-
Z97.
Oh, Z9. Yeah.
You'll be able to get you can get a Haswell system, Z97, with I mean, crap, you can get the 4790K for the same price as
334.
The
4770K.
4790K from Micro Center
Right.
currently is $279. You can get a decent
DDR3 memory is going to be really cheap. I have no idea what DDR4 memory is going to
DDR3 memory's gone up in price, so it's that the memory stuff. It's a really weird thing because over the past
It
year or
shifts
two,
quicker.
it's gone over.
Yeah.
It's gone up.
But
When-
DDR4 is not going to be cheaper.
No, DDR4 is not going to be cheaper. It's going to
It's
perform
not
it's going to perform worse. It's going to have higher latency.
Plus
but
you're gonna have to
that's
have 4
any
modules.
memory shift we see is always like that. But
If you're looking for a system that you can keep as long as you've kept your i7 930, I think you wait for X99 and you buy that system, and you will plan to keep it that long as well.
But if you, what you probably want to do, if you can, is hold off probably till spring to early summer. That's
No,
when
don't
the
do that.
DDR4 prices and
Yeah, he's
volumes and
talking-
stuff should probably be. I'm talking next
Now
year.
you want to buy right now.
I'm talking next year. You hold off till spring or
I'm not
early
selling
summer.
anything, I'm just
the
saying.
DDR should be more stable. It may come down in price.
Yeah.
It takes a while. They're ramping up now with DDR4 because they are going to release it, but you don't want the first batch of the
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, you're talking first round of production. It's
Yeah.
the binning is not going to be the best. Like you're not going to.
I think
But-
you,
but
I think,
by spring or summer,
I think you
they should
drastically underestimate the
I don't know.
presence of a company like ASUS to make sure that everything works perfectly.
Yeah,
Right?
but
When
you
you're talking
can't-
about how many peripherals they test on their boards.
can't say it's gonna
right, Their
work.
qual list on memory.
You can't say
is
you're going to be able
larger than
to.
anybody else's. Isn't
You
it?
can't say you're going to be able to tweak latency and memory clock speeds as well as you can tweak DDR3 now.
Why
as
not?
Mature, as
Why would-
mature as
why not?
DDR3 is.
I mean,
Why?
I mean, because the engineering specs are there. DDR4 has been specced out for quite a
It's
while.
like 2
Oh, yeah,
years
that's
old.
been-
It's 2
Yeah,
years
it's
old,
at
and
least-
also they've been actually producing modules and going through production for quite some time. I
Throwing
think
them.
it's going to be. I mean, they're going to dump a load on.
Well, they've been making DDR4.
market.
I mean, DDR4 and
Again.
DDR5 already. You're on graphics cards. So.
well, GDDR is
Discharge.
different than DDR.
Oh, sorry.
It's
Yeah.
technologically it's different. So,
Sorry.
if you want to keep that system for a long time, I would probably recommend waiting for X99. I wouldn't recommend waiting as long as Maury recommends waiting. But if you're, but I like people ask me this all the time: Is there? Do I want to wait? Do I want to wait? Do I want to wait? And the thing is, with this industry, you can always wait. If you wait, there's always going to be a rumor posted on our site about DDR5 or whatever comes after Z97, Z107. I don't know. what they're gonna do.
Z117.
There you go. Right, and what those processors are. So if you're always waiting, you're going to be stuck with an i7 920 forever, and not move forward. Right, and it depends on what your budgets are and what you kind of
But if you go
wanna
too
do.
fast, you'll end up with a cracked die.
don't crack your processor die. Is the moral
He hit it with the rubber mallet.
I was on a.
I did.
of Maury's story.
told that story.
Oh, so we'll tell the story real quick. Where's your processor, Maury? Let me see it. So this is a 4790K?
No, it's 4770K.
This is a 4790,
If I had a
4770.
Yeah, if that was a 4790,
Oh,
I'd
okay,
be
here we go.
crying.
So this is a 4770K.
Wow, they
It's a
cost
nice
a ton.
Haswell unlocked part. And
Oh, it's unlocked. All right.
Maury wanted to delit it. He wanted to get the better, improved temperatures.
Oh, I
of-
delited it fine.
delitting of it was
Deleting
fine.
was fine. It was easy. That
That's
was the
nerve-wracking
easy
for me.
part.
Did you use a razor blade to do it? Like
No. Deliting
Use the
basically.
hammer.
Yeah, what you do is you put the processor in a vise. You take a wood block on
Okay,
the
this
edge.
sounds safe so far. Keep
Yeah,
going.
you take a wood
You
block.
said
and
if you
put
do
it
not
on the-
delid, you get the hose.
What? Get out of here. All right, so you put it in a vise and you crank it down a little bit, not too much. You take a wood block, put it on against the green PCB, and gently tap it with a rubber mallet. And no, seriously, all you're doing is you're basically
the Intel warranty page here.
the heat spreader on the CPU is held on to the PCB by RTV black. Black RTV, which is a caulk-like substance. It's basically rubber. So all you're doing is dislodging that RTV. The reason why you want to do that, if you're going to delit it rather than a razor blade, is because the razor blade you have the opportunity to cut the physical chips that are next to the die. If you hit it with the hammer,
mean-
you don't do that.
If you
You
hit it
mean
with a
like-
hammer and put them in a vise, you run the risk of compressing it all and
No,
smashing
no,
it
no.
together.
You mean like if the die cracks?
So anyway, you got it delitted.
I got
And
delitted.
then you installed it in your water-cooled system
Yes.
with a what was supposed to be a die protector.
Yes, the MSI. I use the MSI die guard, which MSI
which
is
sits on the
saying.
processor, and its goal is to even out the distribution of weight, so that so that something doesn't happen.
Yes.
So that you don't crack your processor.
Correct.
If anybody remembers the days of building AMD systems with the Thunderbird processors,
Well, even
Yep.
the
right,
old
where it just had
the
an
old
exposed
Intel,
die.
the old Intel.
yeah, well, they didn't
processors
have
exposed too.
heat spreaders on them, and the die in the Thunderbird was tiny,
Yeah.
right?
And people would.
And you had giant
Ins-
heat sinks on it. And to be fair, the heat sink retention mechanism was put all the force on this side and then push it over to that side.
But they
So you're
had
putting all the force
guards
one
on
side
them
of it.
though. They had those
Some
metal
of them
guards.
Some, but
But you had to buy that extra.
Yeah.
Kind of like we did here. And I
well, they
I
did have
probably
those
cracked,
4 sponges on the corners.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Yeah, that worked well.
I think I broke three Athlon dies that way.
cracked.
I remember
Cracked
I remember
those puppies.
when AMD sampled me the Thunderbird processor. The first time I was in college, I was super excited. I was like, man, I got this new processor. And like within 18 hours, I had broken it.
Right.
And I had to call these guys up and be like,
Damon.
done screwed up, man. So what happened with your processor? Mark?
All right, so I did.
So there he was, in the
fine.
shower.
It was very gross. No, I was not in the shower.
That was after.
That was after. I was crying. Hot water running down my back. But no, okay. So I delated my processor fine. It was very nerve-wracking. I was very happy it was as easy as it was. I go to put it on. I take the cage off my motherboard, put the delay die guard with the processor on my motherboard, put it on. It seems to work okay. Temps initially are great. Okay. Then,
But?
but of course, I wasn't done with the board. I was just testing it, so I had to, remove the heatsink, put
Mess
it
with the
on.
heatsink
couple
some
times.
more. Yeah.
Yes. Now the heatsink, I wasn't doing the normal twist and all that. It was because I know it's a silicon die. It's glass. It's
doing
going to break. So I'm very gently putting the
Very gently.
The water block on there. Going to each
I
corner.
only put 140 pounds of torque
Oh, shut up.
on.
No,
Get
but
to the point. What's the
well,
end
anyway,
off
okay.
here?
Anyway, I'm
It
putting it on,
cracked.
put it off. Yeah, put it on a couple times. I start noticing just stability issues. At one point, right before I started looking at it, one of the cores was going up to 100 when I was running at 4 gigahertz, which is nothing for a 4770K. 100C it was hitting with the A to 64. So I know something's wrong. I look at the thing, it's cracked. It was cracked to the point where the water block was not sitting flush with the surface of the die.
And here's what kills me. It was still running.
Oh, it was running. Okay, yeah. I had it
you can
running
read it.
overnight.
And you can read a temperature off of it.
Oh, yeah. No, I was running it last night. I had to upgrade all my game. I got to download all my games for Steam overnight, and that's what was running.
But there was cracks in it.
Yes, a lot of
Like
cracks.
there's multiple so there's
Oh, yes.
literally
Yes, the whole-
millions
yes.
of wires are cut.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Not the important ones.
Apparently not.
No, I was just.
That's
I mean,
just for the L3
basically, I think it was running. I
Yeah.
just got lucky. I mean,
They're all ground wires.
it's that kind of problem you're going to see. You'd see degraded performance eventually with stuff.
dude, not the metal
yeah.
layers.
Yeah, but delating is. I mean, I've had my experience with it. It's
So I would recommend not to
don't
do
do
that.
it. Don't do it. No, you can do it if you have one of those $60
No.
Pentium
Don't do that.
20th anniversary processors.
Oh, sure.
Go ahead.
If you're willing to throw money away, that's fine. That Pentium anniversary processor, by the way, is pretty good. So you instead now you have a 4790K,
Yes.
fully lidded
Yes.
Yeah.
and installed in your system.
Yes. On the way here,
With the
in
lid.
fact,
You
I
installed
picked
it
up-
in line.
I installed
for
inline, and
QDQ.
yes, and there were pictures. One of the Quakecon photographers actually took some pictures.
Doing
of that
surgery
was-
on your computer while waiting
Yes,
in line.
yes,
Have you
yes.
turned it on yet?
No, that'll be later tonight, hopefully, if they let us in.
Interesting.
Hopefully.
Interesting. All right. Anybody else? Questions, thoughts? Everybody just wants to go back.
And drink
line.
beer.
Nothing? What about you, Josh? What prize are you most excited to give away on this wall?
Boy, I think it's that Gigabyte Z77 board.
Z77 motherboard?
Yeah,
All right.
I've
If
been
you upgrade
rocking the
your Sandy Bridge,
1155.
Ivy Bridge?
Yeah, that's
All right.
sweet.
Okay. Alan?
The 2 SSDs that are not yet released.
Oh, yeah, we do have those. Samsung sent us 850 Pro
Pair of
SSDs
850
that you
Pros.
actually can't buy yet. So I
Can't buy 'em till the
No, we're
21st.
not going to throw it.
So we're going to grind them up and snort them at the...
Man.
I think that makes it like the first public release of those.
Kinda?
So,
Kinda.
I guess.
yeah, I guess.
I might have to benchmark one of them because we didn't test that capacity.
Did you bring that with you?
What, the test bed?
Yeah.
There's one right there.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Just install some.
Maury, what about you? What do you got up there?
Well, that EVGA 1300 watt power supply isn't too bad of a prize.
We got a 1300 watt power supply up there. I know what mine is, but I can't say what it is.
Can we arc weld with that power supply?
You
on the stage?
Yes.
We have at least one surprise giveaway at the end. We have two, actually. Well, okay. I'll say we're going to give away a G-Sync monitor
You're giving away Ken?
Yeah, buddy.
tomorrow as well. The ASUS
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Saturday.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow I'm going to walk around G-Sync monitors throughout the BYOC and just hand them out.
There you go.
ASUS doesn't know it, but they gave me 56 G-Sync monitors. It's amazing.
Sweet.
We have one of the ROG Swift boards. Yeah, exactly. I'm just going to throw them out.
We'll tape them under the seats.
Everybody look under your chairs right now. Wait, no, nobody has a monitor under there. Yeah, it probably doesn't say anything useful because I didn't put the paper there.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to. I almost did it again. I'm looking forward to Saturday. What's tomorrow? Thursday?
Thursday.
Are we
Thursday.
doing anything?
There's a
tomorrow?
lot of days.
I think we're going to that barbecue place up the street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chinese barbecue.
Chinese barbecue.
Chinese barbecue.
Chinese bar.
The only walkable restaurant here. So Denny's too.
Yeah, that
Denny's.
great. No.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a slow week. Next week we have. I do have a Tegra K1 tablet that I got sent in, shipped
wait.
directly from China.
It's being tested.
Xiaomi. Yeah, the Chinese one that they sold like 50,000 of in 40 seconds. And apparently, according to Ken, like this company's MO is they make one run of it and they sell it and then they're done and they move on to the next product. So it's a very interesting exact replica of an iPad Mini Retina, but instead of an Apple SoC, it has the NVIDIA Tegra K1.
Yep.
Super impressive SoC.
Looks very good.
Yeah. What kind of stuff are you working on?
I've got another A88X motherboard review, a GTX 760 ITX, and
Right.
then supposedly that other one of the first new AM3 Plus boards that I've seen in like over a year. And that's from MSI as well.
Okay. Alan, what kind of storage goodies are you working on?
We got a M550 roundup,
M550?
Crucial.
Yep.
right?
Lower
And then,
cost than the 850 Pro.
Some really big, fast hard drives that we can't say who they're from.
But they're
You know
4
what I mean.
and 6 terabyte.
4 and 6 terabytes.
So 6 terabyte hard drives are going to be coming from multiple sources now.
Yes.
Maury, what's next on your list?
I have Gigabyte
Z97 motherboard?
Z97 motherboard. That'll be the last of the motherboards I have in my queue, and then and I have some coolers too coming up. Some air
Listen.
coolers from.
You better
What?
tell me where the CMOS battery is.
It better be in the pros and
It's
cons.
up Josh's
Oh.
butt.
So I am curious here. I'm just going to kind of generally poll the audience. How many of you, did you all bring systems? Okay. And
Were they PCs?
No.
no, it's not okay that you brought your Mac with you. How many? You do your mixes right there on the thing.
I can edit video like the wind.
Get your, yeah, you do your set up your DJ gig. Yeah, all right. How many of those systems are AMD processor based? Okay. And the rest are Intel because nobody's running VIA processors anymore.
I have a Series-based system, thank you.
Yeah, nice. Let's look at GPU. AMD Radeon GPUs. GeForce GPUs. Two GeForce GPUs.
Oh, dear.
Okay. all right.
Intel.
Intel GPUs.
Intel built in.
No.
No?
Nobody willing to
Really?
admit it. That's good at least.
Sweet.
Anybody? What do you guys think? Anybody invest in a 4K monitor? Anybody want to invest in a 4K monitor? I'm not selling them. I'm just again asking again.
I need Maxwell.
Eventually.
You want Maxwell for? That's what you're kind of waiting for that.
Even two 780 Ti's like I have. can't
Yeah.
push for a 4K monitor.
Yeah. That's something we could like the proliferation of low-cost, high-resolution monitors. How much was that? The ASUS PB287Q. Is it
$650, yeah.
$650? I think I saw that the Samsung version of it was on sale through like an eBay seller. You know, your mileage will vary for like $529.
Because nobody's buying that one.
I did see at least one person carry a Samsung UHD display into the BYOC. So I know
sweet.
there's at least one there. And I also saw I saw somebody get in the elevator with a 50-inch Seiki 4K TV box that they were like taking up to their room. So there will at least be one of those.
Last year there was that one guy that put like a 65-inch.
Yeah.
Like and he's running Minecraft.
That's dedication. Do you have to have 2 BYOC spots for that to put up
Yes.
65-inch
But all he
TV?
played the whole time was Minecraft.
Really?
Yes.
That's really disappointing.
Hey, Alan, I come here and I play first-person shooter games only. I don't play network games.
But on a 65-inch. Like
Oh, I wouldn't be playing a 65-inch.
a game designed to be
have to
pixelated.
What?
10
On the
feet
Are you
back.
guys
65
all on
inch.
1080p monitors? Is that where we're all stuck? 1440p. Did you buy into the Korean monitor craze? You got the ASUS one? Okay, all right. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Because, like, anybody else have the 25 by 14? 2516? Yeah.
Oh, he's doing the 30, the full
so you got
30.
the 30 inch on that.
That's what I use.
Yeah.
I like that one.
It's nice.
It's very nice.
Okay. All right. We're gonna go there. I guess that's it. You get nothing else. Nothing else you guys want to bring up?
Yes, I
Talk
connect to
about
the wall.
what games are you playing at
It's on the 3D,
Quake Live? Yes. Okay.
wherever.
TF2. All right. Company of Heroes 2.
No Dota. That's supposed to be the most popular game in the world, right?
We should count how many Dota
Actually,
players.
so I want to go through this. This is actually I'll be interested to see we've kind of been posting these most popular games over the last month type news stories, and Dota 2's up there. League of Legends, nobody, yeah, okay. League of Legends players, it's all the same to me.
Actually, the humble 2K bundle is pretty good this week. They added like 5 more games.
Did they? So number 1,
Yeah.
League of Legends. Number 2, Dota 2. Number 3, World of Warcraft. 4, Counter-Strike Go. Yeah.
Okay.
Number
Big update,
5,
maybe.
Diablo 3. Okay. WildStar. Anybody playing WildStar? Just started it, yeah? It's new, right? Yeah, so it's Minecraft is 7.
Wow.
Watch Dogs.
I'm going to
but
beat
there's a
your
lot of
ass to the
Watch
ground.
Dogs. Nobody?
Vanilla Minecraft for life. I'm telling you.
After Watch Dogs, we got Hearthstone, BF4.
Yes.
Yeah. It was interesting. So they released Battlefield 3 for free this past month.
They for like 3 days.
And that jumped up like 23 spots in the ranking, whereas Battlefield 4 went down 4 spots this month. World of Tanks. Yeah. TF2's on here. Payday 2. Warframe. I think the first time I saw Warframe was here last year. I saw some people playing it, and I said, I don't know what that is. Please tell me. Nobody? Okay, Warframe's over. Final Fantasy 14, Gary's Mod, Guild Wars 2, Skyrim, and ESO. Wolfenstein is not on the top 20 list of games played in June. Do you?
Well,
Yeah.
Hey,
I've heard nothing but good things about Wolfenstein.
Oh,
so.
ESO is about to get a bump though too because they're releasing something. They're announcing something during one
ESO.
of the
So,
And
you
any
guys,
Supreme Commander players here? Total Annihilation. Oh man. TA. That was.
who's excited about
what's
the
going on
Doom
tomorrow?
reveal?
They're giving out 3,000
That
copies
is
of
tomorrow,
ESO.
right? If I say
What?
tomorrow, Doom is tomorrow.
Yes. So.
Doom is tomorrow.
Yeah,
Who's excited about the
something
Doom reveal
online.
tomorrow?
Oh.
You think they're gonna let you can see
something-
gameplay? You guys think you're gonna?
Elder Scrolls Online.
No cameras are allowed. Well, sure. 2,000 people sitting in a.
Yes, go to the keynote tomorrow.
Yeah.
Doom 4.
Yeah. Just checking my time this way. Well, I guess that's it. Thank you guys for joining us. People on the live stream, sorry it was a lower content week, but I guess nobody did anything this week. You guys need to be more productive.
Are we
or
going to be
something.
streaming any additional things?
Yes, we will have. If all goes to plan, we will still be streaming the hardware workshop on Saturday at noon at pcper.com/live and pcper.com/workshop. So we'll still be streaming it. If you're on the stream, you can't win anything. So only people in attendance will be able to win. So that's good news for all you guys. Bad news for all of you guys. We tried to think of a way to do that realistically, and it
That's just painful.
never came out. But like I said, again, huge thanks to our sponsors, Seasonic, NVIDIA, and Logitech for bringing us here, and all of these guys that have donated stuff, plus lots of other people that are not represented yet because their shipments aren't here yet. So make sure everybody stops by on Saturday, and we will see you next week at PC Perspective. I'm Ryan Trout.
I'm Josh Walrath.
I'm Alan Malventano.
And I'm Maury Tattleman.